All right, y'all, live on this beautiful. It's a Tuesday. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you're not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed, as Bitcoin must hold the line right here as we are coming back down to test the lows. As you can see, trying to do a liquidity grab and reclaim. But guys, it's a crazy day because not only has Bitcoin broken out, hit a massively new all-time high over the weekend, but in half an hour, 25 minutes, we have CPI data coming out. Inflation data. And you know what that means. That's right. Insane volatility. Insane volatility. Insane volatility. I'm telling you. All right. The volatility that will ensue is the embodiment of this picture as Bitcoin is at new all-time highs, trying to hold the line, and the inflation data is coming out. All right, we got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. And as usual, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll be giving away $1,000 in Tether. We got to give a major shout out to Jonathan Maurice. He says, I'm holding the line, bro. Makes another $20 by LOL. Major shout out to Crypto Coons. He says, make sure to check out Jason Casper's free course on YouTube. Absolutely. Make sure to check out Jason Casper's free course on YouTube. For sure. Shout out to Charlotte Jane Lee, who says, morning to you, Charlotte. Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to Mad Mega Dog, Pepperoni Nips Club. Shout out to 420 Bud Monster. Shout out to Infinite Team TA and Daniel Caprude, who says, good morning. Good morning to you. Shout out to Jay Becker, Bob Saget, and Epong TV. Don't worry, Jason will open soon a strip club for Bitcoin holder. He will call it Uneven Butt Cheek Club. All right. Shout out to the fish. Pumping to CPI is mad. Shout out to Ishan Shafiq. Boys, what's cooking? Are we 125x long right now? We're 32x long, bro. We're 32x. And we're also, what X is this? 20x. All right, 32, and 20x long right now. All right, so add that together. We're over 50x. Rakesh is on the edge of his sheet. Shout out to R Pink. Shout out to me, I made it. Woo! Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to DeFi DGen X. Shout out to all who took profits on their spot bag yesterday. I know I sure did. Shout out to Lightbot. He says 150k for sure. Shout out to a beer. Shout out to Jeremy Cup. Hey, how are you, man? Hey, how are you? Hey, I'm pretty good. How are you, man? Hey, how are you? Shout out to Lumbaki. He says, hit the likes. Hit the likes if you want to own nothing and also be happy. Shout out to Shark Vin. He says, just a quick wick to 113k. NBD. Man, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be watching this CPI crazy stuff. Shout out to Jewel. Love from Germany via India. Love from Germany via India. And shout out to Dev E. Mitra, who says, hi, bro, from India. Well, hello right back at you from the good old United States of Donald Trump. Why purple shirt? Well, I've only got two colors, okay? Blue and purple. And the blue one's all sweaty on the floor from yesterday. And I had myself a nice, fresh purple one this morning. So I put it on, man. Did I enter a short trade from the top? No, I'm in no Bitcoin short trades. I am in 0 Bitcoin short trades. I did not short the top, and I have not taken a short since. All right. Shout out to Dr. Mo and Hassan Khan and Matchy HK. Shout out to Matchy, who says, like the dang stream. Yeah, shout out to everyone who's liking the dang stream. All right. Let's discuss, guys, because it does look like we will be getting a bit of a pullback. The question is how much and how long. We're going to take a look over at TradingView. And first of all, let's pop on the old Jason Casper back on the screen there. There he is. Good old Jason Casper. Shout out to Ashley Gates, a.k.a. Ash Cash. Morning, seen you on Frankie Candles. That's nice that you give back to other traders. Frankie Candles is the man, all right? Me and Frankie go way back, all right? Me and Frankie go way back. All right, we've been collaborating. We've been friends since before most of y'all were even born. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ash Cash. Appreciate you. All right, let's pop on into this. First of all, we're gonna start locally here. Why are we getting a little bit of resistance right here? Well, it's all based on technical analysis, guys. People say technical analysis doesn't work, but that's a whole bunch of malarkey and baloney, all right? And if you don't like baloney, which I definitely don't, it's a whole bunch of turkey, oven roasted turkey breast. Now, look, first of all, I have to say this. I'm about to do some technical analysis. If you don't know anything about trading, check out the free course on YouTube. 18 sessions. This will walk you through everything you need to know for free. All right? Isn't that crazy? Look, you can learn how to trade from a guy who's on YouTube looking like this. All right? Who wouldn't want to learn from this kind of guy? You know what I'm saying? And you can tell he's a guru because he has long hair. Real gurus always have long hair. You notice that on YouTube? You see, someone starts off a random internet business. You know what I'm saying? They start selling maybe an ebook, maybe a course. Could be for any niche, you know, fitness, trading, or whatever. They're humble at first. They got the short hair. But once they make money, they grow it out, you know? Because now they're not about money anymore. They're about, like, finding themselves, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's the way it goes. I don't know why. It's just I've noticed that, right? I've noticed that, man. Have you guys noticed that? I've noticed that. Anyway, that's how you can tell I'm a real guru. Now, why have we rejected from 122-ish to 123,000? Simple. We take our Fibonacci extension from the low of the last bear market to the high of the last bull market to the low of the most recent bear market. Did I say it twice? And we're rejecting right from the 1.618 Fibonacci extension to the dang dollar. Now, this is kind of a little bit scary, okay? Just a little bit, not too scary. But I do just want to point out that if we take a look here at, I'm just curious, actually. I'm pretty curious to see what happens if we take a look at what happened last cycle. Where did we end up? Where was the all-time high? Yeah, wasn't the 1.1618 Fibonacci, no. All right, so we're good. We're good. Oof, man. Ooh, that was a little bit scary there, okay? But look, that's why we are rejecting right now, and that's why we're finding a little bit of resistance at resistance. So this is the reason why we are seeing this drop. Now, on the daily time frame, we are seeing a red dot printing. Now, the good thing about this is, locally, we're not seeing any bearish divergences. And even if we take it all the way back to November 2024, the bearish divergences, they're slight, right? They are slight. There's always a chance in the bull run that the top is in, but personally, I do feel like we're going to hit higher. Our next Fibonacci target is going to be $133,000. And then my moonshot target is going to be just front running $150,000. These are all based on Fibonacci extension targets. Now, my take profits along the way up here have been based on these Fibonacci extension targets. And yesterday, I did take spot profit at $120, which is something I've been openly talking about ever since Bitcoin was in the 20s. All right, so I have hit another spot take profit here, sold a little bit of my Bitcoins, and now we're going to await and see what happens. So we're going to start more on the local here because this is quite important. The trend is obviously still bullish. All right, I am not bearish on Bitcoin at all. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. All right, before y'all come out say, Jason, why are you being so bearish with one purple candle? Just relax. Just relax. All right. Let's talk about the overall context of the market. First of all, we understand that we are on our big bull market trend line. And as we came down to this key support, we saw on Market Cipher B a very bullish signal. As the price was making a higher low into this trend line, we saw the momentum waves getting lower, giving us that hidden bullish divergence, right? That mirror mode uneven butt cheek pattern where we have a skinny butt cheek on the left and a fat butt cheek on the right. How does this happen, you ask? I'll tell you how it happens, okay? Minimalistic training. All right, she goes into the gym once or twice a week. She doesn't warm up, and she does like heavy barbell squats only and deadlifts. All right, no accessory work, no mobility work. The left hip flexor is so tight that she can't really get that full extension to get that stretch in the glute at the bottom of the barbell back squat. Okay, the right side, she is getting that stretch, so it causes the hypertrophy to form only in the right butt cheek. Now, when you have an imbalance like that, what do you need to do? Right, you need to correct it. So we saw the correction. Now, if you've been following the Jason Casper YouTube channel, the best YouTube channel on Twitter, let that one sink in. You know that we've been talking about this signal since April, where we said a historic Bitcoin signal has confirmed, must watch ASAP, where we were calling for the Bitcoin price to come back up, hit $105,000, and eventually hit that new all-time high. All right, so this is no surprise. This is not hindsight analysis. We gave you the foresight analysis, which is why you need to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications, and why you got to check out the free course on YouTube. Man, wow, too good to be true. Now look at this. All right, we're going to come on back here and take a look and see that we have in fact made our higher high. And not only have we made our higher high, but this is the weekly chart. Our weekly candle has closed extremely bullish here. All right, we have ourselves the range high, the weekly candle. There's no question that this is a breakout. It's very strong. There's follow through, there's volume. When we look at the breakouts of previous ranges, when we see that weekly breakout, same deal. Big candle, there's no question. Are we breaking out? Are we not? There's no question. We know this is a legit breakout. Go back to every single other breakout here, and you see the same dang thing. All right? You see the same dang thing with these weekly candles. All right, so now that we understand the context that this is a bullish trend, we can go even more locally here and see that on like our 2-day time frame and things of this nature, we see money flow getting much thicker here. This is a very powerful trigger wave, giving us our second leg up, and so the trend is bullish. The bullish divergence, the higher high, the higher low, which, by the way, you know, if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we gave the long trade setups in advance. Let people know when we're taking them. Well, when I took it, but this ain't no financial advice. Locking in the profits. All right. We also gave the setup from 105. Let's see if I can find it from 105. It was a few weeks ago now. Man, guys, look, man, the beautiful garlic harvest. I'm telling you, this year, oh, man. The garlic, the cucumbers, the garlic, the leeks, the onions. You know what I'm saying? It's good stuff. Man, it is good stuff, man. Well, I know I'm diverting here, but man, this meal, except for those beef patties, is 100% grown on the Jason Casper farm. Ain't nothing like enjoying the fruits of your labors. All right, long from 105, trade taken, profits locked, baby. We're up altogether 5 figures on these trades. All right, this is the second trade here. Okay, shout out to the Casper Crew, jasoncaspertrading.com. All right, if you want to join the best community in the world. Now, we took those trades because we got the bounce from the higher low. Now we made another higher high, and we're starting to see our first potential retracement here. All right. So here's the deal. It's quite simple. Because we've had a breakout of around 109 to 112,000 here, the first major thing that we need to look for is going to be a back test of $112,000. I would say $110 to $112,000. We're basically going to be looking at this zone right here, these two highs, and we have ourselves a nice little box to make right here to say, you know, as long as we're holding this zone between 109.5 and 112,000, this is a bullish breakout and we can look for higher prices. But, and this is just basic technical analysis, as soon as we lose that box, this is no good. Or as we say, Be'ivrit, ze lo tov achi. Ze lo tov. Madua! Why? ¿Por qué, mi amigo? If we come back down below this area, we are back down inside the range. And that's not what we want to see. Okay, we don't want to see that pattern happen. Okay, that's called a failed auction. A failed auction is where there's just no more buyers. We come back down inside the range, and then the probability is actually highest that we come down lower. We don't want to see that. Not yet. Not yet, no. No, we want to hold this level. Now, there's a few other areas we do need to be aware of. First of all, we have ourselves the macro value area high of the entire Trump wins the election range. And speaking of Donald Trump, I am officially endorsed by Trump, so make sure to subscribe.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Jason Casper. He's the best YouTube trader in the world. He's getting huge. Shout out to the Casper crew.
And look, for all you left-wingers out there, you know, I'm also endorsed by the other side.
Jason Casper, let me tell you, that man is something else. A true warrior for change. He's the first ever trans non-carbon binary emission gender standards major to ever reach 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Jason Casper, let me tell you,
that's
that
right.
Man is
you know, I'm the first ever trans non-carbon binary emission gender studies college major to ever reach 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, this is me back in college. That was Obama giving his speech at my graduation. And you know, he says I have 200,000 subscribers. That's just because the government likes to fudge the numbers to fit their agenda. Now, the agenda this time is to get Jason up to 200,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe. But you can see we have our value area high right here. Okay, so we could even extend this zone a little bit down lower to say 108K, all right? It's a big zone. If you're a swing trader, this is our zone. We cannot lose it, all right? As long as we're holding above 108.6, I'm still feeling bullish. I'm still super bullish. I won't be able to sleep. I'll be looking at the charts all night and all day. I won't get up for any reason, which is why I'll be wearing my Depends adult diapers, because I'm not going to get up to go to the bathroom, because as soon as I do, I'll miss the move. 10% cash back, link in the description for Depends adult diapers. Make sure to check it out. All right. And yeah, so this is going to be our first major zone right here, 108 to 112. And that means if we get a pullback and we fill this, we need to be looking for the bounce. In fact, the next major long trade I see on the high time frames is going to be this one. All right, we're going to be looking basically just for a classic breakout back test, and then we're going to be shooting for our next Fibonacci extension at about $133,000, which really, if we're looking at it, this is a swing trade. That's a pretty nice 4-to-1 risk reward. Meaning you're risking 1 to make 4. You're risking 100 to make 400. You're risking 1,000 to make 4,000. You're risking just $1 million to make 4 million. Just 10 million to make 40 million. Right? Just $100 million to make $400 million. You know, just $1 billion to make 4 billion. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pretty good risk to reward. Now, of course, if we're going to lose 108, guys, that is not good. That means the next target is going to be around 97,000. That is the POC of the range. And then we have to be ready for the low 90s, high 80s, right? It's literally just level to level. But we're looking at these high time frames because this is how we're going to form our bias based on probabilities. Because we know as long as we're holding above this green box, the probabilities are we see higher Bitcoin prices. As soon as we lose this box, the probabilities are lower prices. Does that mean as soon as we lose the box, we jump into a short? No. No, we're not Carl from the Moon. Although me and Carl from the Moon do have a movie coming out very soon. Check it out, coming to theater soon.
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
But look, what we do if we lose this level is we say, okay, now that we're below the level, we're biased to look for short trades if we see a good setup for a short trade down to around the $97,000 zone. All right, that's what we kind of look for. All right, we don't just short because we lose a level, and we don't just long because we reclaim a level. That works sometimes, but you do that over time, you're going to lose everything. You're going to get addicted to longing the top on high leverage. Next thing you know, if you're not longing on high leverage, you're itching yourself all over. You're stealing from your mom's purse to get more money to put into Bybit so you can 100x leverage long the top. You don't want that. All right, you know what you do want? Oh, I know what you want, baby. Oh, baby, I know. I know what you like. I know what you want. Okay, you want to learn how to do this right? Check out the free course over on YouTube. All right, like I said, Jason Casper, the best YouTube channel on Twitter. All right, now we're coming back over to our chart. So as long as we hold above this, we're good. We're gravy. Now, in 6 minutes, we have CPI, guys. Get ready for major volatility. Now, here's the deal. Locally, what's happening? Why are we finding a little bit of support here? It's because we have the lows from the range right here. All right, the lows at 116,669.50 cents on Bybit inverse perpetual USD contracts futures derivatives, all those cool words. Let's throw in some other cool words. Smart money, fair value gap, imbalance, BOS, baby, touch. We got a little touch on the BOS with the smart money concepts, baby. ICT, throw up your ICT gang signs, baby. Because we are hip, cool traders with all the cool lingo up in here. Now look, if this level does not hold, then we have a little bit of concern. All right, let's put on our good old TPO chart and see what the concerns are. The concerns are, if we don't hold this level, there's literally no support until we come down to our big green box, right? We can see we have many single prints. What are single prints, you ask? Well, you could take the free course to find out fully, or I could just tell you. It means fast move up, fast move down. It means fast move up, equally fast move down. You can see right here, there's really not much support, maybe a few low time frame things, but nothing too serious. All right, it's not too serious. Now I'm a very serious, extremely serious trader and YouTuber. I'm the most serious channel on Twitter. But it's nothing serious when it comes to supports on the way down. All right, now, there's a few things we do need to be aware of, like the potential of a liquidity grab of the low at 115, the potential of the liquidity grab of the low at 113 for scalp trades. But really, if we're going to lose that, then we don't have much until we come back down to our box here. Because there's just no volume and there's no time spent to build any kind of structure on the way up, right? No volume. No structure on the way up. All right. So these are things we need to be aware of as the CPI data is going to come out in 4 minutes. We're going to be looking at our volatility. All right. We'll be looking at the volatility. We're going to be marking out some key levels here. And we're going to be seeing what happens, because, you know, it's always very interesting when you have a big move on Bitcoin and then you have some kind of a news catalyst. We're also going to take a quick look at our order flow on good old XO charts. Good old XO. Let's see what's been happening with the order flow, with the OF. All right. This is the cool people's OF. All right. Any CBD divergences? Well, sadly, we do have some bearish CBD forming right now underneath the daily VWAP. Shocking and scary. Sensational. My goodness, sensational. More sensational than the time I had to run away from the cops because they were chasing me down trying to arrest me for trading and driving. Man, that was sensational. Thankfully, I bribed the cop. I said, hey, cop, look, you see my P&L? I'm going to split this 50-50 with you if you don't charge me with manslaughter for going 95 into 25. All right, let's just forget the fact that my wife and kids are in the car, too. All right, just forget about that, man. All right. Now. Okay, we got 3 minutes. It's going to be sensational. All right, it's going to be sensational. All right. Mic check. Mic check, 1, 2. How's the mic? Mic looks great. I think we're good. We're ready. The volatility's coming in. We're going to pop on over to good old Forex Factory. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. We're going to zoom in on the clock here. Let's zoom in on the clock. Yeah, look at this, man. Technology, bro. Look at that. Zoom in on the clock until the news. Whew. Oh, man. Do you guys feel that? You guys feel those butterflies? Or is that just me? You guys feel that, or is that just me? Now, look, they're expecting inflation to be higher than what it was last time, which is bearish. All right, so let's see. Last time inflation came out cold, right? Let's see if it comes out hot or cold. All right, is it hot, cold, up, down, in, out? Here we go, baby. Here we go. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. Oh man, oh man, man, oh man, oh man, the emotions are running wild today, guys. All right, I know you're not supposed to trade based on emotion, but... All right, Jason, what did the doctor say, right? When you feel like this, just put the nose clip and do the deep breathing exercises into the plunger. Okay, we're good now. Remember, Jason, you're in front of millions of live viewers. Whew, that was a close one. Now, they almost had to put me back in the institution on that one. All right, we got 58 seconds. Is Bitcoin a good stock? Well, the CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, did get arrested, and not only did he get arrested, but he does have a medical condition known as the uneven man boob pattern. But, yeah, it's still a good stock. Still a good stock. 41 seconds left. All right, 41 seconds left. Oh my. Okay. Dumperoni pizza today. Exit now, says Hopium Copium. Man, that would suck. I wish I was in a short. You know, I've been looking for a short, but I just haven't had one of my setups hit yet, you know? So, it's like the last bear market, you know? Just always waiting for higher to short. Always waiting for higher to short. Finally got my short in at 100K. 200x leverage. Didn't work out so great. Did I have a plunger and a wig on when I got pulled over? Thankfully, I had no wig on. Okay, that would have been a deal breaker for the cop. Okay, here we go, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready for the volatility. It's pending, but it's not pending. Some of you guys already know. Oh, big old blue candle pumping out the gate, baby. All right, look at that, a big blue. That usually means we turn purple. All right, inflation exactly as expected on the month. All right, let's see. Come on. Oh, ooh, baby! Inflation lower than expected. Now on paper, that's bullish, okay? On paper, that is bullish. But let's see what happens. That's actually nice. It's a little bit nice. Let's put on market Cipher B here. Let's go to our 24-minute. You know, it's on paper, that's nice. Now, look at this. You know, we've got the money flow deep in the purple here. Again, this is the areas where we want to get interested in longs, is that money flow starting to curve back to the upside. Let's check out our good old 12-minute time frame. Ooh! Yeah! Ooh, it looks pretty good, I have to say. Money flow curving up. Make me want to look for a long trade, you know? Make me want to peek for a long trade. Take a peek. If we got them cheeks. Yo, let me take a peek. Market Cipher B got any uneven cheeks? Let's put it on here. Let's see. I see. Yes. Interesting. Yes, our analysis is very thorough. And yeah, okay, so look at this, guys. The total inflation is lower than expected. Let's just quickly. What was that? Okay, so the CPI on the year is a little bit higher than expected. All right, on the month is the same, and the core CPI is lower than expected. So I'd say this is pretty neutral, honestly. This is pretty neutral, but we cannot ignore the fact that we do have some nice looking market Cipher B. Guy Incognito, he says, I'm eating. You're eating? Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Look, this is a TA channel. Shout out to Joe Potter in the chat. Shout out to R Pink who says, woo. The important one is higher on the year. And it's pretty neutral. It's just a little bit higher. Let's see. Now remember, something else to remember about CPI data is a lot of times we get a pump and dump scenario. So let's look here, because I would say that really what we need to be aware of right in this moment is going to be this support resistance flip. All right, this is pretty obviously key here. This is our local range. So if we do something like this and get the rejection, that could honestly be a short scalp. Start with a scalp, you know. So let's watch and see what happens here. But we do have a little bit of the bullish divergence. The money flow, I think if we get another drop down, will look much better. Okay, we will take a look and we will see. Alright. Do I like mushrooms? I do love the mushrooms. The portobello on the grill is what I like. Shout out to Yar Baruch 1. He says, my wife told me to put ketchup on the shopping list. Now I can't read anything. Bro, that joke's just way over my head, man. Shout out to Dave Digital. He says, Jason Casper, we want premium emojis. I know you're hesitant, but set the price low and donate the profits. All right, we'll do it, man. My wife was telling me I should do that too. All right. Shout out to Stefan, who's eating an uneven butt cheek. Shout out to Cyrus, who's breathing. Shout out to Veek, who says ETH, Bitcoin about to pop. Yeah, like let's not forget about the insanely bullish looking altcoin charts here. Honestly, as long as Bitcoin is holding above the previous range all-time high, 108 to 112. We are primed to see altcoins absolutely pump. And I'm excited for it because I've got a lot of profit taking to do. I've got a lot of profit taking to do on my altcoin portfolio, to say the least. Alright, alright, let's set some alerts here. I want to know if Bitcoin comes down to these lows again. And I want to know if Bitcoin comes up to these highs. And let's take a look at some other assets. First of all, we just got the CPI. Let's check the reaction of the DXY. Ooh, baby, dollar dumping. That's what I like to see. The dollar is dumping. All right, let's check out the ES 500. Ooh, S&P 500. Getting a blue candle here, getting a nice little trigger wave on the 12, but we did take those pre-news highs and we're getting a bit of a liquidity grab. All right, let's check out NQ. NQ in the same boat as the ES. Let's check out Ethereum here. Wow, look at that spike on ETH, man. Look at that spike on ETH. That is nuts. All right, so look, ETH, here's the deal, guys. All things considered here for these altcoin charts. First of all, we understand that based on the altcoin season index, we are heading into an altcoin season. All right, now whether or not it's the altcoin season is up for debate, but we are heading into an altcoin season where we're about to see alts outperform Bitcoin. We have all the ingredients necessary. All right, we have Bitcoin breaking out, forming a new all-time high. We have the altcoin season index breaking out of the market structure here. And when we look at the Ethereum chart, like I always say, we are seeing historic bullish signs at the lows. The monthly time frame is printing a bullish green dot below the zero line, market Cipher B. We've never seen this ever happen in a bull market before. And because we have reclaimed our key level of 2,700, I believe we're going to see $4,000 ETH. Once we see a $4,000 ETH, the target breakout of this triangle is going to be an $8,500 ETH. And then our 2-to-1 Fibonacci extension is going to be coming in right around $10,000. So my three targets for ETH here, 5.5K, 8.5K, $10,000 after the breakout of this triangle. And again, the reason I'm having that as my target is basically just doing the measured move right here of this triangle, which we've been forming for the past few market cycles, right? So that is why I have my targets up there, but that's not the only reason why I have my targets up there. We take our Fibonacci trend-based extension from the low to the high to the low, and you can see that our Fibonacci extension targets are also right there, okay? In fact, this isn't the most bestly drawn thing here. Let's take it. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. There we go. We have our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension at 5.5. We have our 1.618 at 8.5. And then we have our 2-to-1 Fibonacci at around 10. And again, these aren't pulled perfectly here simply because I'm not using the magnet tool and the price actions are very low. But in general, these are going to be around our targets, 5.5, 8.5, and 10 grand for the Ethereum. And ETH, really, look, the line in the sand for ETH, you know, Bitcoin can't lose 108, but ETH right now, we cannot lose 2,700. And this is a pretty strong breakout here for ETH. We had our big move down from our bear market support around 1,500. We came back inside the value area low. This is a beautiful move inside value area low, back test, higher high. Now we have to expect our next big target of $3,300. We reclaim that. It's going to be an easy move, easy peasy move up to 4 grand. It's going to be just like that time that Bitcoin, you know, broke out of the value area low. Remember, guys, remember how these value areas work, right? They work like this. Once you come inside that fair value zone, it's most probably you make it to the top of the fair value zone. All right? This is how we were able to get into these juicy trades on Bitcoin, right? That's how we're able to take these trades in the Casper crew, right? We had our bullish bias based on the fact that we're back inside of the range, okay? Oh no, Bitcoin also right now getting a little bit of a move to the downside, okay, after taking the highs. Oh no. Now remember, we do have New York opening up in 30 minutes plus 21. That's 51 minutes for all you math geniuses out there. I know, you guys are surprised I knew that, right? I know addition and subtraction. Oh man. Alright, let's take a look at some other stuff. As Bitcoin's getting a dumperoni. Making me a little bit nervous here. What altcoins are you guys looking at? Chat! Hey yo, chat! Hey yo, hey yo! Hey yo, chat, what altcoins are y'all looking at right now? Oh no, bearish div on the 12-minute. Yo, what altcoins are y'all looking at right now? Solano, Cardano. You've been hearing about 10K ETH since 1996. I feel it, bro. My grandma's been trading Bitcoin since 1955. And let me tell you, it was a different time when the SHA-256 algorithm existed only on pen and paper. I remember when the first computer came out. Well, I don't remember that, but she would tell me. Changed Bitcoin trading forever. But look, we'll get there eventually. All right, Sol. Oh, let's get on to a higher time frame here. All right, so guys, Sol, I have to be honest. Like overall, I'm still bullish on Sol. I think these charts look really bullish so far. I think the high time frame stuff looks really bullish. We have a confirmed trigger wave here after a confirmed hidden bullish divergence. We've come to take the liquidity. We made a higher high. We're bouncing from the Fibonacci golden pocket. I still think that this idea for Sol is completely valid for the rest of the bull market, which I assume will last us until September-ish, September to November. All right, this right here, 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio right now on Sol. Let's zoom in on the 1 hour and see what's going on here. Okay, so Sol, we've gotten a... Yeah, so this is quite interesting actually, because Sol, let's go to the 4 hour. Let's just take a look at our sideways range here. I'd say that this could be considered our range. Okay, we've made it just up to the value area high of the range, the support resistance flip. We're finding a little bit of resistance. If we see a bit more of a pullback here, let's pull even more local air volume. And let's go ahead and pull our fib from low to high. Yeah, so quite interesting, honestly. Like, if Sol does see a bit more of a pullback today, I'd say the $142 on Bybit is a pretty nice level, coming back down to the value area local low of the range, giving us this beautiful rounded bottom, and just taking all the liquidity that we have here as well. Because you also got to recognize the fact that this last pump, we have formed quite a bit of liquidity below us. So underneath these lows here, we have a whole bunch of stop losses, right? So what tends to happen is when you have those stop losses, once you start to stop out people, it creates a cascade effect of stops getting hit, which pushes the price down more. Once they're all out and we come down to support the value area low and the Fibonacci golden pocket, that's where I'd be looking for a local bounce on Sol, right? So Bitcoin's dropping down to 108 to 112. Maybe Sol gets to drop down. Obviously, we have to be aware of 152, the POC local. But yeah, that bigger target and that juicier level is going to be, I'd say 142-ish. 142-ish. Shib. Man, I haven't heard of Shib in a long time. It's been so long since I've seen a list of alts. Thank you, Jason, for asking. AVAX. Alright, I do love me some AVAX. H-bar. Alright, Joe Potter. XRP, XLM. Let's take a look at XRP. I still have to say that XRP, and this setup here, guys, keep in mind, we've been talking about this for a while, okay? As we pump more, it becomes less of a good risk to reward as a high time frame hodl setup to our $5 target. But let's talk locally what's happened here. So as you know, we've broken out of the, let's hide this real quick. How do you hide it? So we've broken out of the falling wedge. All right, the falling wedge we've broken out. And not only have we broken out the falling wedge, but we've broken out the value area high of the range. This is pretty bullish. Our first target is going to be a $3.50 XRP. All right, but we are starting to get a pullback. So what do we look for on XRP? Well, we've just broken out of the value area high of the range. That's coming in at about $2.70, which means our first target, $2.70. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. We have ourselves a mini range right here. All right, we're looking for our first bounce at $2.70, where we just so happen to have liquidity, right? Again, those best setups are always going to be where most people get wrecked, right? What wrecks the most people? That's your entry. All right, you're looking for a good entry. What would wreck the most people? It would be to stop out all these guys, come down, take the liquidity, and then get the reversal. Now remember, there's a lot of stop losses down here too. Okay, lots. So we could easily come back down to test the trend line at $2.40. But this is where understanding how to trade what's happening in real time comes into importance, because if you see that we simply just stop out these guys and then we get a reversal and we're looking at market Cipher B and we're seeing uneven butt cheeks out the wazoo, we're looking at market Cipher B, we see Sam Bankman-Fried in the bullish man boot pattern, the red pepperoni nipples getting higher, the money flow getting higher as the price is getting lower, right? If we look at market Cipher B and we see Sam Bankman-Fried looking like this here, as we're getting the reversal, that's called a chickens drinking water trade setup, where as soon as you get that reclaim, you know where your stop loss goes, and your target can be to our next resistance, which is going to be $3.50. All right, that could give us a nice setup right there. But of course, if we don't see the reversal, we wait. We don't just long, because we come to a level. That's super important, right? My grandma has been trading Bitcoin since the 50s. She used to say, Jason, let me tell you, a level of support don't mean a peak, honey, if it ain't got that cheek. Don't mean to peek if it ain't got that cheek. She'd tell me in that comforting, soothing grandma voice. She'd be baking me cookies in the kitchen, making me pancakes and eggs for breakfast, fattening me up. You know, grandma's always trying to mess up your cut. You're trying to get abs for the summer, but you're hanging out with grandma. She's making you cookies and pancakes for breakfast. Grandma, I can't be spiking my insulin so high in the morning, all right? I haven't even used my liver glycogen yet, let alone any of my fat storage, and you're trying to load me up with carbohydrates? Come on, Grandma, what are you trying to do? She's trying to make you fat, all right? Because back in her day, being fat was cool, right? It was a status symbol. You're rich and well-fed, you got a fat neck, you know? Some people are concerned about sleep apnea, but who cares? You got a fat neck. You'll survive through the winter with that fat neck, all right? You might not survive through the night, but you'll definitely survive through the winter with your fat neck. Shout out to Dave Digital. He says, Groke. He's flopping and groking. Groke keeps telling me to be bullish on Bera. Interesting. CryptoFace may get wrecked because of his lines. I don't know. CryptoFace doesn't really get wrecked in general, right? It's funny. People hate on CryptoFace if he takes a loss, but the funny thing is, his wins are way bigger than his losses. The thing is, he trades with millions of dollars, right? So he loses 200K. For you, that's devastating. For me, that's devastating. For him, whatever, right? What if you just add to loser still profit? Oh yeah, man, totally cool. All right, Black Swan incoming. Too much positivity at the top. Man, can you imagine a Black Swan incoming? Let's just think about it. I love to think about this kind of stuff, man. Let's think about a Black Swan. Oh man, I'm getting excited right now, just thinking about it. All right, now guys. All right, guys, listen up. Listen up. Hypothetical Black Swan incoming. All right, some kind of crazy thing happens in the world. Maybe it involves a conflict. Maybe it involves a pestilence. Maybe both. Maybe something we haven't thought of yet. Maybe it is the Project Bluebeam alien invasion coming out the closet. Okay. Maybe something crazy is about to happen. Then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? Man, if we get a Black Swan dump in the last half of 2025, I am going to take a risky long and maybe even buy some spot Bitcoin. All right. All right. Now, please bear with me. We have our range, man. We have our range. Okay. Now, keep in mind here. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man. I just get, All right, so look, here's the deal, guys. We have our range. We have our Fibonacci golden pocket. We have our previous range high right down here. Okay, now notice this wick did not touch that previous range high, and if we pull the fib as it existed at the time, it also front ran the fib. So imagine this, guys. Oh man, just imagine this. I mean, just imagine an insane dump. All right, just bear with me. I know people are gonna like dislike the video because I'm even thinking about this, okay? But look, here's the deal. If you're prepared for a Black Swan event like that, man, then you will be ready, because just be aware that we have like literally the juiciest confluence of support right in the zone. We have the previous range POC, the previous range value air high, the golden pocket untapped, the support resistance flip untapped. We have the modern golden pocket untapped at the range low, okay? So we come back inside the range, let's say something like this, and we have a crazy Black Swan, ah! Like in a wick, right? As soon as we reclaim this, man, that, in my opinion, I'm going for it, baby. I am going for it. I'm going for that beautiful 60+% gain on Bitcoin, right? This could be the last time. That, you know, okay, let's just war game that a little bit. You know, again, so far, July looks very bullish, and this weekly candle is very bullish. The weekly looks super bullish. It looks bullish. Okay, so in the event of a Black Swan, where during the summer we come back down to the range low, just like we did in 2024, just like we did in 2023, what would the weekly market cipher B look like if we had that happen? What would the weekly market cipher B look like? Would that not be the most bullish divergence in the world, man? Would that not be the most bullish thing in the world? You know, if it happens real quick. Like, it would have to happen quick. So really the way this would have to happen is we'd have to basically, for the rest of July, kind of chill out and be like, oh, we don't know what's going on, and I'll make a video one day with a bullish thumbnail, and a video the next day with a bearish thumbnail, and a video the next day with an open mouth, and a video the next day with a closed mouth, and a video the next day with like a uh-oh mouth, right? And really I'm saying the same thing every day, which is, well, we're still in the range, right? And then we get the news. And when we get that news, boom, right? And that's because it can't, you know, we drop like this. If we're here next week, this is not a viable idea, okay? It needs to be a slow, painful, scary, we don't know what's gonna happen, but we're seeing some bearish signs and then all of a sudden, crypto face is short, $20 million. Okay, and then we get the big drop. And then as soon as we reclaim, boom, all right? You know, just this is, you know, kind of makes me excited. We're just trading the sideways range. But really, when you think about it, why does that make me excited? Because right now, let's say we hit 130,000, which very well could be our cycle top. That's another 12%. Okay, we hit 150K, that's 30%. All right, cool. If we get this, we're talking between 69 and 100%. You know, to call it a bull run, that would be nice. All right, just saying. Okay, we're just hypothesizing. Hypothesizing. We're hypothesis. A hypothesis. All right, hypo means under. Thesis means I don't know. What the heck do I know? You know? It's going to at least 149K and SFP 160, maybe, bro. It would create mega pump, a flood of liquidity. Yeah, it would be like the Vidco 91 dump. You know, like the Vidco 91 dump. Liquidate everyone in leverage, not a good look. Yeah, that's what has to happen, right? Liquidate everyone with leverage. I mean, really. Look, if you're a leverage trader, you better know what you're doing. All right, and if you don't, check out the free course. Jason Casper YouTube channel. The best YouTube channel on Twitter. Check it out, man. Check it out. You know, free. And guys, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, check out WEEX. They give you $100 just for signing up. Very low fees, 20% cash back. Check out BLOFIN. They also give you 20% cash back, $500 future bonus, low fees, and chance to win all these prizes. And check out Antarctic Exchange, decentralized exchange where everyone who trades on the exchange gets paid because we all own it together, and so we all share the liquidity, the liquidation fees, the regular fees, and all that stuff. Pretty cool. Also, if you know how to trade but you don't have money, check out Klein Funding. It's a crypto prop firm that trades on Bitget. 25% discount in order to get one of these accounts. Of course, you have to pass a test, but if you don't want to pass test, check out the Instant Pro accounts. You get funded immediately. 15% discount in the description. You could customize your plan here, whether you want, 70%, 80%, 90% profit split. Drawdown is fixed at 6% for Instant Pro funded, but for the normal ones, drawdown, you can crank that baby up to, I think, 14. Yeah. You could be like, I want max 14% drawdown, split the profit. You could do 100% profit. For $123, you can get a $6,000 funded account, but there's a 25% discount. So I guess you're paying like $80 or something. I don't know. I didn't pass math class. I'm an idiot. All right, links to all that in the description, okay? H-bar. We have to check out H-bar. I forgot. Let's check out H-bar. Man, we went down Black Swan Road there. We went down Black Swan Road. BSR is what they call it. Black Swan Road. Alright, so we got H-bar breaking out the wedge. Alright, we got H-bar breaking out the dang wedge. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Check out our volume. Ooh. Check out our fib. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I mean, wow. Just objectively speaking right now, I see a really cool entry point for H-bar for coming back to backtest the wedge, value area high in the golden pocket, which could give us a really nice 6-to-1 risk reward. And if we're shooting for all-time highs on it, that's a 10-to-1 RR. It's pretty dang awesome, I have to say. It's pretty dang awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool for H-bar. Shout out to H-bar. That looks pretty cool. In general, this is a bull flag. Bull flags are bullish. We have a hidden bullish divergence on our weekly time frame at this low here, so pretty nice. We're changing market structure, higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, as long as we're not losing 16 cents, I think more upside is probable on good old H-bar. Let's talk about it. You're right, let's talk about it. Cool. Cool. CME gap at 113. Yeah, 113 is a cool zone, very key zone. So sorry, the Video Kingdom. Can you check out Neo? It's a stock. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Mr. Super Chat. Thank you so much for reminding me, man. Sorry about that. $ Neo. I guess we've looked at this before, but I would have to say we've got ourselves this really nice resistance, and if we break the resistance, especially with the backtest, that is a nice, in my opinion, long. I don't know anything about the stock. I don't know anything about this stock at all. So bear that in mind, please. I don't know anything about it. Could suck. But breaking this massive resistance that goes all the way back to 2021 would be a major sign of strength, especially with a backtest here. The best sign of strength really would be to make a local higher high. So this is our last high. So breaking that high then would be like, wow, we have a change in market structure and a break of the resistance. Okay, not financial advice, but looks really good. Money flow coming up on the weekly. Let's check out the monthly. Bullish divergence on the monthly as well. So it looks really nice for that potential reversal right now. Shout out to Andrea, who says Pengu. All right, we'll take a look at Pengu. All right, we don't have much historical data on the monthly. Wow. So, okay, here's the deal. We are pumping. We are pumping, and we're coming toward all-time highs, which basically, look, now I know this is a very new coin. It's only since January. So this is where you have to make a decision where, you know, the downside potential is much more than the upside potential here. But if you're assuming a blue sky breakout, then in general we could say, as long as we're not losing the value area high of the range, as long as we're not making a lower low here, then we have ourselves a, you know, and again, we don't really have any real levels to target unless we use some Fibonacci trend-based extension. So, I mean, our 4.618 there is going to give us it's not even a 2-to-1. So we need to really expect a massive pump on here. So really what we'd be needing to look at this as is, I guess, more of like a head and shoulders, right? Kind of a sloppy head and shoulders where we have our neckline like this, right? It's not really head and shoulders, but... And then we'd have to say, okay, because we're breaking out, we can expect this, which is a 5-to-1 risk reward. So here's the deal, like the chart definitely looks bullish. The problem is, where's our entry going to be right now? If we get a pullback to, you know, 18,385, right? This support resistance flip that we have here, we have this support resistance flip here. This would give us a really nice entry because we have ourselves the support from 2024, 2025, resistance from May, resistance breakout. We get the back test into this zone. Now we have ourselves a really clear risk to reward ratio where we're basically, even just to shoot for those all-time highs, we've got ourselves a 7-to-1, right? And then we could easily like lock in a profit and then let the rest ride. So right now, to enter now on spot, look, if you're super bullish, it's, you know, you gotta deal with your risk management the way you deal with it. If you're a trader looking for a good entry, honestly, a pullback right now into this area would be amazing. Are we gonna get that? I don't know, right? I don't know. We've had our bullish divergences forming here, and so, you know, we probably bounced from the golden pocket. Yeah, we had our really nice golden pocket entry there. Let's pull out another fib here. Yeah, I mean, look at how beautiful. If we get another retracement to the golden pocket, guys, this box, this is the place to be looking for that long here. All right, and just so we all are clear, that's going to be between 16,494 and 22,712. All right, 16,494 and 22,712. Shout out to Crypto Sharknado, Pink Pony, Pink Pony AI Club. Well, thanks so much for the super chat, Crypto Sharknado, but sadly, I do not have time to do it. I have to head out. Because I'm on kid duty. Gotta watch the kids. So I will, Pink Pony, I'll try to remember to do that mañana. Thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.